I think one really interesting thing that I just wanted to point out is you said it's how you perceive yourself, you know, and I think a beautiful example of that is someone who thinks they're ugly, but they're married to someone, or their mom thinks they're the cat's meow. And so who you are is just a perception. It's really a perception of who you are. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And that is exactly where we're going with it.
Perfect.
So I want to circle back around to throat chakra, but let me speak into that. We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. And so in the causal plane, we have a self-perception, and we actually project that into our field to create, frequently by default, the reality that we see. And so I will kind of get to this moment, and that is in every given moment, when you have the awareness that you are the creator of the world you see, you can ask yourself in pure time presence, how will I perceive myself in this context? And what will my contribution be? And what will I have you be? Because so often someone with whom we are in relation is someone that we're using as basically a projector. We're projecting our self-perception upon them to have a reflection of the way we see ourselves. Before we get too much into that, I wanted to use your real-time example. You said, I'm feeling throat chakra. Let's go there and do that.
Yeah.
So throat chakra, there's so much going on there. I feel like everyone has kind of an idea of throat chakra means something about being able to speak your truth. But let's really look at some more practical, tangible, functional, real-time examples of, say, for example, a throat chakra. How often do people think one thing, but say something different? Say one thing, but do something different? And more often, and as importantly, how often is something not okay with you, but you don't say anything about it? Those are all throat chakra issues. And so one of the aspects of our conversation today is going to be about truly caring about how you feel, caring about how you feel, knowing that your needs are worthy of being met. So, and now I'm speaking about authenticity in the conversation of throat chakra, connecting to your truth. So just knowing your truth, that alone is a thing, but really connecting to your truth, coming from love, I'll explain that, and feeling safe to say. When I say coming from love, it's because some people are literally so uncomfortable caring about how they feel and speaking a truth that sometimes they feel the only way they can do it is to muster up some type of, I'm going to call it confrontational or combative energy. Like maybe the only way that they can say it is by blurting it out or being overheard or telling someone else about it. All of these are what we could call indirect, right? And so your ability to just really connect to your truth, because you know from law of vibration, law of attraction, that your feelings are your emotional guidance system.
Yep.
But you have to be paying attention to them.
Yes. Yes.
So, and that's the seat of all intuition. And by the way, it's also the seat of authenticity. So let me keep circling around this conversation. This is important to be able to connect to your truth and come from love and feel safe to say, to care about your own feelings as much as you care about the feelings of the one with whom you're sharing. That is what I'm going to call spiritual integrity. And it matters a lot because in this way, honesty is the deepest form of intimacy. So you can now take what might be I'm going to call it the most extraordinary moment, but we could also call that the most challenging, the most complex, the scariest. Maybe it's triggering. We can take the most extraordinary moment and create deep trust, honesty, and respect with someone with whom we're having this contrast or conflict, just by this throat chakra concept of connecting to your truth, coming from love and feeling safe to say, so that when you're able to be so honest and so loving about your honesty, the person that's receiving what might be very hard news to hear is going to be just respecting you and appreciating you. And by the way, loving you.